This is Dr. Bev Knox, and you are listening to my Psychology Tutorials. Learn psychology while you sleep. Today's lesson is all about introduction to social psychology. Well, what is social psychology? It is the scientific study of the way in which people's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are influenced by the real or imagined presence of other people. Social psychologists are interested in understanding how and why the social environment shapes the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors of the individual. The power of social interpretation is key. To understand social influence, it is more important to understand how people perceive and interpret the social world than it is to understand that world objectively. How does social psychology compare with personality psychology? When trying to explain social behavior, how an individual acts within a social context in relation to others, of course, personality psychologists explain the behavior in terms of the person's individual character traits. Although social psychologists would agree that personalities do vary, they explain social behavior in terms of the power of the social situation. Let us compare social psychology with sociology. A fundamental way in which two disciplines vary is in their level of analysis. Social psychology is rooted in the study of the individual's internal psychological processes. The level of analysis for social psychology is the individual in which the context of a social situation. In contrast, psychologists focus their analysis on groupings of people organized in social categories such as family, race, religion, and socioeconomic class. While sociologists aim to study larger social processes like historical and political changes, or how larger social structures like race, class, gender, sexual orientation shape an individual's life changes, the orientation of the social psychologists is on the internal processes that take place within individuals. Social psychologists, on the other hand, seek to identify universal properties of human nature that make everyone susceptible to social influence, regardless of social class or culture. Sociologists seek to explain properties of societies. Let us review the power of social influence. Social psychologists have discovered through rigorous empirical research that individual behavior is powerfully influenced by the social environment. People tend to explain behavior in terms of individual personality traits and underestimate the power of social influence in shaping individual behaviors. Social psychological researchers have shown time and time again that social and environmental situations are usually more powerful than personality differences in determining an individual's behavior. Human beings are sense-making creatures. They are constantly interpreting things. How humans will behave in a given situation is not determined by the objective conditions of a situation, but rather how they perceive it. Social psychological theories about human behavior have been applied effectively to deal with a range of contemporary problems that include prejudice, energy shortages, the spread of AIDS, unhealthy habits, and violence in the schools. When recommending interventions to deal with these serious social problems, it is imperative to act on the basis of scientifically grounded theories about human constructional and behavior.